Chair. Recognize the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Flores, for 3 minutes.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for holding today's markup on H.R. 4775 and H.R. 4979. I would first like to say that I am a strong supporter of nuclear power, and I am encouraged by the efforts, particularly like Mr. Lotta's and Mr. McNerney's bill, H.R. 4979, that foster new and innovative technologies that will help our country maintain its leadership in the field of nuclear energy. Moving to the next bill, H.R. 4775 brings relief to states and counties that currently face the burden of implementing two different standards for ozone simultaneously. Since 1980, our economy has more than tripled in growth, while the average ozone levels have gone down by 33%. The EPA predicts that ozone levels will continue to improve through the next decade under already existing requirements. Why should regulators hamper job creators with unnecessary red tape when these areas are already on track for compliance? When I first came to Congress in 2011, the EPA was in the midst of reconsidering the 75 parts per billion ozone standard set in 2008. By the way, they were doing that 2 years earlier than the statute provided. I led my House freshman colleagues in sending a letter to the EPA urging them to fully implement the existing standards of 75 parts per billion to ensure that all benefits from that standard were realized before considering revised standards. The administration later came to the correct decision and terminated reconsideration of the standard. Ultimately, though, this multi-year delay in the implementation occurred, and states did not receive full implementation guidance until October of last year. States now face the challenge of spending already limited resources on implementing a new second standard of 70 parts per billion, and in setting this latest standard, the EPA predicts a vast majority of counties are on track to attainment of a 70 parts per billion standard by 2025 under existing regulations. So hence the question, why do you need a new set of regulations if we're already on track to achieve the standard? The bill we're marking up today also includes a key process modernization by giving the EPA more time to review air quality standards. I think we can all agree that moving the goalposts before regulations are fully implemented and corresponding benefits are maximized is a shared common sense goal. To address many of these issues, I introduced H.R. 4000 last November, which harmonizes the two standards of 75 parts per billion and 70 parts per billion, and the related permitting processes through 2025. That bill also modernizes the statutory review process from every 5 years to a more realistic 10-year period. I'm very pleased that H.R. 4000 is included as a key part of H.R. 4775, and I thank my committee colleagues, Mr. Olson, Mr. Latta, and Mr. Scalise, for their efforts and work on this important issue. Thank you, and I yield back the balance of my time.